Happy and blessed Tuesday night, Team Relentless. We are starting out this phenomenal training, just getting into the groove of things, knowing that we're going to close this year out extremely strong. I am your host for this evening. If we have not already met, my name is Marrero. I'm one of your executive sales directors. Thank you for adjusting. As we mentioned, this is an updated time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So mark your calendar so that consistently you're never missing out. Make sure you still continue introducing and inviting your team members to this training because it's amazing what we have in store, right? I'm super excited. Now, tonight we're going to start off as we usually do, setting the tone in the spirit of celebration. We are going to give acknowledgement actually to those who closed out the last volume month, which ended this past Saturday, with the highest enrollments, and that's the top 10 nationwide within Team Relentless under the leadership of our Senior Vice President, Mr. Xavier Marrero. So starting off with last month's close of volume, the top customer enrollments led by first spot, Vice President, Mr. Bruno Floridor, Regional Vice President, Reza Ortero, Vice President Xander Valles, Vice President Dr. Arnold Bogarty, Vice President Anthony Kelly, Sioni Pereira, Chantel Ramirez, Dinette Irizarry, Rosario Salazar, and Stephanie Lopez. Go ahead and celebrate them in the chat, folks. We're always going to do this, always wanting to salute those that are paving the way, expanding the family, and also extending a reach to those who want to change their lives for the better. So moving on to our second list, this is the top enrollments for our agents for the last month, right? Ending this past Saturday, close of the volume month. Number one spot held by Vice President Bruno Floridor, Vice President Xander Valles, Regional Vice President Reza Ortero, Sandra Mantry, Gregory Anastasas, hopefully I said it better this time than last week, Doris Melendez, Wisrick Normal, Executive Sales Director Chris Bariner, congrats sis, Robinson Judy, and Vivian Matos. So again, let's go ahead and light it up in the chat, celebrate. I know we're all muted, but let's keep that good spirit, good vibe, recognizing their hard work and efforts. Now, we have just started off tonight, well, it's day 3, in our first week of a 5-week volume month. You see, if you're brand new and this is the very first time you're plugging into training, we don't have the typical standard calendar from day 1 to 30 or 31 for the actual calendar month. We have a business volume month. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to know. Regardless, this is the first week closing out 2021, in which we have 5 weeks in total to get to the next level, close this year out strong, and as well, hit those goals, knowing that 2022 is going to be a phenomenal year. We're only looking to continue to grow and expand. Now, starting off already, the highest enrollments of customers, number one spot held by David Ingram. Go ahead and celebrate him in the chat. Lakeisha Coryat, Alicia Winship, Ariel Rodriguez, Elijah McNeil, Todd Anderson, Juan Colon, Natalie Rodriguez, Bruno Florida, Dr. Arnold Bogarty. So again, let's celebrate them, congratulate them for topping it off, starting this month out super duper strong. Huge salute to you because this year is not going to end the same way the last year ended, but you're looking to set the tone for continued growth this coming year. Now, we're moving on to our top agent enrollments. So the top 10 so far, starting off the month strong, Vice President Bruno Floridor, VP Xander Valles, Jose Burgos, Cherie Torres, Yamairi Hernandez, Jocelyn St. Jean, RVP Reza Ortero, Vivian Matos, Rosario Salazar, and Yukiko Bise. So again, let's congratulate them, light it up in the chat, throw some flames, some of those, I don't know, what is it called? Confetti things, cakes, whatever it is. Just understanding that the way you celebrate the success of others is in turn the same way it'll be celebrated for you, right? We do as best as we can using these digital platforms. But for tonight, understand, you've had to have made the update, the changes in the calendar. These Tuesday night trainings will be now 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Each week, week after week. If you're brand new, huge congratulations for making that decision to join us, and welcome to the team, the family, and the movement. Now, with regards to tonight's training, this gentleman is going to be someone you get to know very, very well. If not for him, this wouldn't even be possible none of what we actually represent and stand for and what we've been able to build a culture based around would even exist. And understand that at the time he was introduced to this information, none of the tools, resources, and not even Zooms of this nature were available to him. He truly put in the blood, sweat, and tears that it takes from building something from the ground up. And he's lived a life of knowing what it is to be successful, losing it all, starting from ground zero, and creating a whole nother level of success. Now, I know him personally for years, even prior to this opportunity, and I will forever remain in gratitude that he extended an invitation to have me join him along on this journey. And a lot of you are likely here as well because of his invite, but we can look to him for leadership. We can look to him for the example of remaining relentless in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire. He can brag on being in his 30s with the ability of retiring his parents. And he has a long list of accomplishments, including being a nationwide trainer for our company. And again, just an influencer with regards to making true change possible. He is a senior vice president with this company. And if you don't know what that means, he's been able to build a business that generates a minimum of $1 million every 30 days in business volume. Not every 2, 3, 5 years. No. Every 30 days. And the way he's been able to do that is because of his passion and his determination to truly impact the community and make change happen. So I will completely remove myself out of the way. I see his smiling face on the screen. He's been plugged in even before some of you all are here. So how is it that somebody that has the success we want is always here and always on time? He's going to get into the training tonight, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, and truly his results speak to the way he's carried himself. Someone to learn and follow from. Senior Vice President Xavier Marrero. Can you hear me?
Yes, Mark, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, you got it.
Perfect. Team Relentless, what's going on, man? I'm super excited. You guys already know I'm all about the energy, right? So I just want to see cameras on. I want to see people applauding, right? You could be out there like, UWE, right? So you want to make sure at the end of the day, guys, high energy equals what? High income, right? But guys, before we get started, let's give it back to Myra, man. Constantly, every single week, just being plugged in, being consistent. There's a difference between being motivated, right? Because motivation's for the moment. We could definitely motivate you guys. That's not a problem. We have mastered that. But Myra has dedication. The difference is dedication is for the lifetime. And that's exactly why she's where she's at today. That's exactly why she's been able to prove the family wrong, a successful family on top of that, to say, you know what? I believe in something and I'm gonna work my ass off until I get that. And that's exactly what she's been able to do. A lot of people don't even know that. Imagine being part of a family that's considered successful, that's doing big things. And you say, you know what? I see that and I see the money, but I don't see the time freedom. And I'm looking over here at this thing called network marketing. In some way, somehow, I'm gonna find the right vehicle. And I promise you guys, I'm gonna figure this out. And one day you guys are gonna congratulate me. That was not too long ago, a couple months back, right? Myra's been able to take her mom on a dream trip all the way to Antigua. Our executive vice president, David Marquez, and his wife, Yoerika, was able to experience that as well. We had a blast, man, in the middle of an ocean, like literally we were sleeping in the middle of an ocean, right? And for her mom to just see that and be so proud of her. This is why we do what we do, but it takes hard work. It takes dedication. It doesn't come overnight. It comes overnight, right? Everybody says it takes 10 years to become that overnight success. And I'm pretty sure she paid those dues. So Myra, salute to you. Thank you to your commitment, to your leadership, to constantly just leading by example. It just says a lot about who you are. And then for you to always be plugged in, not only on the English side, but also on the Spanish side. Shout out to you and Yoerika for taking over that and just going in, even if there's no support, because in the beginning, when we first started, no one supported us. In the beginning, people thought we were crazy. Rob Santiago, our vice president, can tell you, people are like, you guys are just dreamers. Like this would never be reality. And I told Rob, give us 3 to 4 years, Rob. I promise you, we'll be the 6 and 7 figure earners. You guys seen the magazine, right? Not just 6, but 7-figure earners. And I promise you, Rob, that everybody will have a Mercedes in their driveway. And I think somebody just tried to sign me out. I think too many people got my password. Don't be trying to log into my bank account, right? But it was all about having a vision. It was all about having a dream. It was all about being committed. It was all about, at the end of the day, making no excuses. Guys, look, Rock could tell you, Razor could tell you, Myra could tell you, there's so many excuses that I could have gave in the beginning. Just understand this. You guys see me as a senior vice president, and a lot of you guys are just meeting me for the first time as that title, but Xavier Marrero wasn't always a senior vice president. Xavier Marrero started as a brand new agent the exact same way every single person that's here, all 125. And wow, congratulations, 125, 9/11. Man, that is huge. And we just changed the time. Man, congratulations to every single one of y'all. That's, again, commitment. So guys, just remember, we started as brand new agents. And today what we want to do is we want to share exactly what got us there, because we didn't make it complicated. We didn't sit here and try to reinvent the wheel. What we did is we follow a simple system that's very duplicatable. Type of number one, if you want to learn that system that's just duplicatable, right? You want to take your business, and I don't care if you're a brand new agent, that field trainer, that senior field trainer, but you just want to double that business. Type of number one. I want to know who's ready to rock and roll. But before I do that, I want to share something with you guys, right? Because again, everybody sees us, you know, you see your David Marquez, you see your Razor Oteros, right? Everybody's like, man, I want to be like them, right? Nobody wants to be like X. Everybody wants to be like everybody but X. But guys, this is me right here, just first getting started. I was in a house just with this TV in the background, just getting started. As you could tell, look at my beard. It wasn't even mature at that time, right? My beard mature, I believe, with the business, right? I tell people this is my power. If you guys know the Bible, I hope no one ever cut this off, man. My power is going to be gone, right? But guys, that was me right then and there. A lot of people don't know that Xavier. You know what I mean? Xavier that you guys know is who I am today. But what got me here today? What did I have to do to get to where I'm at right now? What did I have to do to create the time freedom and the financial freedom? What did I have to do to be able to retire my parents at a young age? What did I have to do to make sure that my son's future is set for the rest of his life? And what did I have to do to make sure my family members that made wrong decisions before are still set? The ones that are still in Puerto Rico that just don't even know how the system works in the United States, they're still set. And then the people that believed in me, the people that never gave up, the people that supported the vision that I have, how do I make sure they're good? And because I stood here and I didn't care about the motivation, because a lot of you guys are going to be motivated tonight, but since we're Team Relentless, a lot of you guys have the dedication that's required to become successful, because a lot of you guys have it in you, you're just slowing down your success. You're just stealing your own success from yourself. And I know that because there's seasoned agents here that are still asking for phone calls. They're still asking for these webinars. They're still asking to be helped. Guys, at the end of the day, Myra told you we didn't have the help. But you know what happened? Because we didn't have the help, that's what made us stronger. That's what made us go out there and become great. Because in the beginning, you don't need to be great to get started, but you need to start to become great. Period. Right? So how was we able to do that? How did we go from a nobody to a somebody? How did we go from zero to hero? How did we go from being flat broke to making sure that our entire community actually can eat? How did we go from never being able to travel in 1 year more than we did in a whole lifetime? How did we go from not being able to eat or even provide for our own kids to be able to provide for a large table in a fancy restaurant? How did that happen? Guys, I'm gonna break everything down to you because it's no secret. It wasn't that hard, right? It was simple, very simple, but the work must be put in. You must step out your comfort zone. You must go out there and become more. See, people say, X, but I want more. And I say, well, are you becoming more? Because if you're not, you're always gonna be the same person. You're always gonna get the same results. Because what do they say? What's the definition of insanity? Is doing the exact same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Type of number one, if you can admit, because at one point I was that guy, that you're trying the exact same thing over and over and you're expecting a different result. Type of number one in there. And I appreciate the ones that are being honest. How many people are trying the exact same thing over and over and they're expecting the results? How many people are fishing in the same pond, using the same bait and trying to catch the fish that doesn't even exist in that pond? How many people? Right? And check this out. Bruno, please unmute your line and please give me the opportunity or give me your permission to share a photo that you share with me. When
you can, my bro.
Man, this right here, I swear, almost broke my heart. This right here, let me know why Bruno is the Bruno that we know today. Why Bruno is on the top charts. Why Bruno doesn't take no for an answer. Because see, Bruno at the end of the day was like, enough was enough. Bruno at the end of the day had no choice but to make this happen no matter what. And when you guys see this picture, man, if you guys don't respect this man more, it just says a lot about your own character. I'm just being real with y'all, right? Check this out, man. Watch this. I was blown when he told me this, and I'm gonna tell you the story behind it. And I was just like, man, as a man, I had that knot in my throat. And I was like, man, and all these other agents want to give excuses. All these other agents want to tell me why something ain't working for them. And I'm like, there's no way you can tell me that, because I know people that have been in tougher situations. See, at one point, I thought that I was in a tough situation. But when Bruno showed me this picture, I said, Bruno, you need to send me that picture right now. Like, I need to see this right now. Check this out. And I'll tell you the story behind it. Look at this man, right? This is Bruno right here on the phone, closing deals, living in a garage. Look at behind it. You see the garage door. Look to your right. That was his bed. Right above his bed was actual clothes. Behind him, Bruno, was that your mom or your grandma's bed?
My grandmother.
His grandmother's bed. And then to the left of him on the floor, that was his cousin's bed, right? And then look at Bruno's picture right now. Look how sharp that man looks. Like, this man looks like $1 million. This man came to this country not knowing how to speak English. This man came to this country, got a job at Walmart, getting paid minimum wage, but he knew his value. He knew in his heart, and we had a conversation. I said, Bruno, I knew that in my heart too. From the age of 12, he knew he was going to be a millionaire. And he knew for a fact that he was going to do whatever it took to get to that position. Even if it meant that he has to live in a garage and every single day he's going to get a phone call to make sure that he gets to that point. How many of y'all are that dedicated? How many of y'all are going to sit there and do whatever it takes because you're sick and tired just being sick and tired? How many? Type of number one. And then we think we have it bad until everybody starts bringing the bag of doo-doo to the actual table. And then when somebody brings that other bag of doo-doo, you're like, you know what? I'm gonna take my bag right back. Life is really not that bad for me. It's not as hard as I thought. Because when I seen this and I compared it to me, I said, Bruno, you had it 100 times worse than I did. So type of number one for Bruno right now. This man is always killing the charts. This man is always dedicated, out there grinding on the trenches in the fields. But you know what he's doing? He's doing PBRs. So let's talk a little bit about those PBRs. Let's talk about how do you become a Bruno, right? It's very simple, guys. Look, at the end of the day, Myra, you can see my screen? Perfect, perfect. It's crazy. I haven't used this one in a while. So we're going to run this through together, right? Do you have a long-term vision? Can you sit down with your team or your potential agent and tell them exactly where you guys are going to be at the next year, the next 3 years, the next 5 years? Because I can tell you. It's not,
pardon me, it's showing the whole list on the left. It's not on like just display presentation mode.
Let me take a look. Let me see. Why can I now see that button? Boom. Are we good? Looks better?
It looks better. It has a column on the right, but it definitely looks better.
What do I do, Myra?
Let's see.
I see it.
I think if you hit play, it might play.
Play. Boom.
Perfect.
It looks good, right? So ask yourself this. Do you really have a vision? Type of number one if you have a vision. Type of number one, if you can go ahead and display that vision by words. You can tell them, everybody, this is where we're going to be at. Like, it's like a Martin Luther King, you know, I have a dream, right? This man told you what's on the other side of the mountain, and the man was never on the other side of the mountain. But look how many followers, how many believers he had, right? And what if every bill that came into your home was paid by your monthly income, your actual monthly residual income? What would that do for you and your family? So let's talk a little bit about that. Guys, so we want to talk about PBRs and we want to talk about exposure, right? As you can see, we got the gentleman who just came into this business, right? They locked arms with you, but there's always that black hole. The last thing you want to do is prevent that black hole. And I'm going to fly through this because we ain't going to take too much time today, but we're going to have some powerful information, right? What happens is within the first 24 to 48 hours, they're super excited. See, a lot of us are missing that window. We're missing that window. We're not launching our agents. We're not letting them take that excitement that they have, that they just open their own business and actually get on the phone calls with their potentials, right? Their families and their friends, and let them listen to that actual excitement. So we want to make sure we do that, right? We want to make sure that at the end of the day, your new agent also goes through the customer part. They go out there and they activate the services, right? And we want to make sure that at the end of the day, from day 7 through day 11, they already see a paycheck. Guys, I'm telling you this, and David Marquez, our executive vice president, so can our regional vice president, Reza, tell you, we went to a training that we paid a lot of money for, and they told us, if that agent makes $1, just $1, they're guaranteed to almost stay with you at least 6 months. 6 months. And if some of us are wondering why our agent, 2 weeks later, they went under the witness protection plan. We can't find them. We can put out an Amber Alert, but some way, somehow, can no one ever locate them. The reason why is because you didn't help them create that $1 within their first week. So we want to make sure we do that, because the last thing we want is that brand new agent to fall into that black hole. So how are we going to do that? We're going to schedule PBRs. And PBRs, what are PBRs? I call it people building residual. That's what I call it. Right? People building residual. But PBR is a private business reception, right? These are your home meetings, your webinars. And I'll be honest with you, if you can avoid webinar, avoid a webinar. But if you can, because I've been doing PBRs all day, and some of them was actual through a webinar, but these are people in Texas, right? Excuse me, I had another gentleman in California who I spoke to today that we already, he's about to come all the way to Orlando for tomorrow's event. And I even have people all the way in Detroit. And that team is going ham right now with the PBRs, and we're using the webinar because I'm not there. But at the end of the day, guys, these face-to-face, I was just telling Rob, I was just on a webinar last night with multiple 7 figures and 8-figure earners. And I'm asking them, how did they get to that level? What can I train my team on so they can become those high 6-figure earners, the high 7-figure earners, those high 8-figure earners? And they also the exact same thing. Xavier, don't turn them to be influencers, turn them into network marketers. What do I mean? See, influencers is someone that can go on social media and makes it look good, right? And people are just signing up based off of the lifestyle. They just have influence. But if you get that person in front of someone, they can't do jack. They can't walk through somebody because their lifestyle is not duplicatable to 99% of people that are joining the team. But a network marketer is someone that knows how to do a PBR, knows how to edify, knows how to get people in on 3-way calls and get themselves out the way. But now when they walk into the room, they can create duplication. I told Rob, I said, Rob, bro, that's us right there. From day one, Rob and me always said, man, forget the internet, forget all that. Let's meet belly to belly. Let's handshake. I'm old school. I need to see your eyes. I need to feel a vibe, because not everyone qualifies to be in Team Relentless. Let me get that vibe. Let me know that at the end of the day, it's not about money, because money creates greed. And guess what? Greedy people always choke, period. It's just a matter of time. So understand that we're going to teach you how you're going to do this, right? And remember this, on every single meeting, you're one meeting away from actually taking your business and exploding your business. Imagine that I never took the time to do a PBR with Reza, a one-on-one. Imagine if I never took the time to do that. We wouldn't even know who this young lady is. And this lady blew it up in the company, not even just in Relentless, but in the company itself. Imagine I never took the time to do a one-on-one with our executive vice president, David Marquez. And David Marquez will tell you the story. I told him we have to meet in person. I don't want to do over the phone. We have to meet in person. X, it's okay, I just need my credit fixed. My brother, I can't let you do that. Let me tell you my vision. Let me tell you where you and myself can be in the next year, the next 3 years, and the next 5 years. And ask our executive vice president the conversation that we had 4 years ago if we didn't do exactly what we spoke about. The vision was very clear, but it was that one-on-one. And guess what? These are 2 top hitters in my organization. Imagine if I never took the time to do a PBR with our vice president on Rob Santiago. Where would this team be at today? Because Rob is the glue to the team. Rob is in everybody's organization. Rob's heart is so big that he doesn't care if he's reaping the benefits or not. And that man leaves his ego straight in the closet every single day. Imagine I never did a one-on-one with Marrero, who will be hosting this call. Imagine I never did a one-on-one or PBR, I should say, because David was smart enough in the beginning. David knew the system already. He was not new to the actual industry. He was just new to the company. And he said, Xavier, I need you to come over here and meet Dr. Arnold Bogle and Jackie at the exact same time. Imagine if our executive vice president, David Marquez, never set that PBR. Where would he be at? And imagine if David Marquez never set up a PBR and did a one-on-one with Bruno. Never sat there and told Bruno the vision. Because when they met up, the conversation was supposed to be a whole different conversation. But David was smart enough to say, I have a vision. I have a dream. And I seen the promised land. And we're going to get there together. Guys, it was that simple. So the goal is to get enrollments at these events. At the end of the day, guys, look, I tell my team all the time, people are like, X, I need to come around you. X, I just want to spend some time with you. X, with you, I'm going to get more enrollments. I tell them, don't come around me unless you bring in somebody that's a potential. The reason why is because 1, you're going to waste my time. And 2, you're going to watch me just enroll agents that's not going to help you at all. Your goal is to get enrollments during these meetings, right? So how do you set this up? Right? You're going to set a date. You don't prejudge on your contacts because see, Rob already had a career in the banking industry. And because Rob's background, my man thought he made it. He thought he was the Jay-Z of his block. And honestly, he was. But I say, you know what, Rob, I have a bigger vision for you and for myself. And Rob, you want to talk about having time freedom with your kids because you see how I'm traveling with my son. You see that I'm at the beach with my son while you're taking lunch breaks and you can't go to the school and actually sit there and have lunch with your daughter that you love to death. Well, let me tell you how we can make this happen. I didn't prejudge him. And I could have prejudged David. David already had his business going on. David already knew about this industry. David already had people that were just following him. But I didn't prejudge him. And your PBR should be done at home. Look, I'm big on protecting my energy and my kingdom, right? And David will tell you, I'm not just letting random people in my house. Razor can tell you, Rock can tell you, Myra can tell you. But at the end of the day, if the vibes are good and my people are vouching for that person, then I'm gonna let that person in. And it's not because right now we're on the high rise that close the deals because we didn't always have the high rise. I close more deals just at home because people can relate more to me. It's a small percentage that can relate to me now. So take full advantage where you at because I never had Alfred to come up with a fancy car. At the end of the day, we was hiding our cars. There was up for repo during the process of growing this business, right? And then, yes, you know, you can do your 4:30, 6:30, 8:30 on the weekdays. Those are actually very good times for people to come over, right? On weekends after 1 p.m., people like to sleep in, right? And never, ever cancel PBR. That's like telling people you just opened the newest McDonald's on the block and here's the address, here's the time that the door is going to open, and you sit there and you keep the doors closed. And people just lined up waiting for that Big Mac that they will never get. You think they're ever going to show up to your McDonald's again? Heck no. So you want to make sure you never do that. So how are you going to do this? You're going to make a list. And guys, these are all tasks. I'm not training you this just to waste my time or waste your time. I'm training you this because these are the actions that I need you to take. I'm not even asking you. I'm almost telling you. And the reason why I say I'm telling you is in a respectful way, because I want to see everybody successful. Type of VP if you're going to become a VP. I want to see how many vice presidents we're going to create the end of this year and the beginning of next year. Where are you guys at? I can't even see the comments, so I'm pretty sure I see the numbers going up like crazy, right? That's a lot of VPs. Pedicle, here we come, right? So at the end of the day, like I said, create a list of 100 plus. I guarantee you 99% of people are on right now. If you went to your contacts and you scroll all the way to the bottom, especially if you have an iPhone, which are the best phones, by the way, then I guarantee you have 100 plus. So don't tell me you don't have that. Oh, well, Xavier, one of them is my grandma. You better chill, because I might end up signing Abuelita out for real. Don't prejudge. Abuelita needs life insurance, right? Abuelita might need a savings goal because she might not be scheduled to retire. Abuelita might need some extra money coming in because the government really ain't cutting it. So don't ever prejudge. And who you should really focus on is the business owners. That's one thing that Executive Vice President David Marquez does very well. Very well. There's no shame in his game. And he goes after the business owners. Why? They have a different mindset. When they see an opportunity, they take action. I mean, they definitely ain't scared to go ahead and invest. They already did it. And then when you explain to them our overhead compared to the overhead they have now, and you explain to them our income compared to the income they have now, oh man, it's like heaven for them. And then network marketers. Why you think I told David, no, bro, I'm not going to sign you up just as a client. Ask him. I told him, bro, if you want to do that, you better go find somebody else. And right now, the way it's looking, there's not too many agents. Why? Because I seen the value that he had. I seen what a great asset he can become to this vision that I have, that not only will he reap the benefits, but so many others will reap the benefits. And then people that are already successful. See, we call those the chicken list. Who write down chicken lists? And what is the chicken list? The people you're scared to talk to because they're so successful. They're too bougie. You're assuming that they have the best credit in the world. Or they don't respect me. Well, give them something to respect you, right? Show them that you carry value. Show them that at the end of the day, you're this professional, regardless your background. And now that you are also going to be successful. And they have two choices. You're going to ride this train with me, this money train, or you're going to be on the sideline just looking while I might pass your income. I might pass your status, but this train ain't stopping for no one. And see, that's the problem. Some of you guys are trying to stop the train for what? The train already started going, right? If you guys ever see a train, it takes a little bit for it to start picking up that speed. Once it picks up that speed and that thing starts going and those engines start going up and down, man, there ain't nothing that's going to get that off the tracks. So why are you slowing it down? Why are you stopping your train? Some will, some won't. So what? Who's next? I talk to people, they're like, X, man, these 5 people, they're going to enroll when? At the end of the week. So, hey, who else am I going to talk to? Now I'm just going to wait for these 5 to enroll. You told me the power of 5, I got them. That's going to be my first promotion. Oh, word? Oh, so you like to count your chickens before the egg hatches, right? Well, that's a big mistake. You see why agents are still rolling in? You see why we're still able to actually have agents every single day that are coming into the business? Because we're not counting our chickens before the egg hatches. What we're doing is we're going out there and we're planting seeds, and every single day we're watering them by following up, but that doesn't mean we're dependent on them. Bruce Rochester does the best way, right? He gets a little bucket and he drops like a couple of nuggets in there, a little couple of nuts, and then He's sitting there, he's shaking like, why? You promised me you was gonna sign up. What are you talking about? I told my mentor I was gonna have 5 by the end of this week. You're making me look bad. Please sign up. And these are the people that go MIA on you. But if you sat there, you kept filling up your funnel, right? Filling them up, filling up, filling up, filling up, because some will, some won't. So what? Who's next? Before you know it, they're just dropping. They're just dropping. Razor, how are you getting all these agent enrollments? You must be at 100% closing rate. I guarantee you, she's probably at 50% closing rate. But you know why she has agents coming in every single day? Because she never stopped her business. She never slowed down that train. She didn't wait for no one. You with it or you're not. We say, hey, get down or lay down, period. Right? And then hardworking people. When I first met Razor wasn't a business owner. She definitely even knew what network marketing was. She didn't even know that whole word existed. And she wasn't successful at the time. She wasn't earning 6 figures. But what I knew is that she was a hard worker. She had a burning desire because at the end of the day, she was put in a situation where her baby boy, that she had no choice but to make something happen. Check, I got it. But I didn't do nothing for her. That burning desires was all she needed to make herself successful. Type of number 1 if you feel like you got a burning desire. And don't type of number 1 just to make it look good. Right? Type of number 1 if you have a burning desire that no matter what, even if this entire team disappeared, but the company's still there, you will still make it to the top. And then happy people, right? People that got that great energy, that good vibe, right? So at the end of the day, how are you going to do this? Invite, invite, invite. Set a goal. I tell people all the time, a goal without a date, a goal without a schedule is nothing but a dream. It will never be reality. So how many people do you want at your grand opening? Is it 15? Is it 20? Is it 100? It's a numbers game. Watch Holton Buck's video and see on his first day how many enrollments he got. But what he do? Invite, 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 created urgency, right? And the 50% rule. At the end of the day, guys, everyone you're going to invite that's telling you they're going to come, 50% of them are going to come. You want 10 people to be there? Then you better invite 20 plus. You want 15 people to be there? You better invite 30 plus. You want 50 people to be there? You better invite 100 plus. Right? So understand, be the example. The size of the PBRs will always double. Look what the team, well, look what their leaderships is doing. Every single week they're committed. They're going out there and they're creating a large PBR. Look what Meyer just did last Sunday. Amazing PBR. Look what we did a couple Sundays ago. Amazing PBR. Look what Arnold's doing every Thursday. Amazing PBR. The numbers are constantly growing. Look what David just did. 2 weeks out the entire, 2 days out the entire weeks, what he's doing is PBR, 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 leads to the main PBR. PBR, 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 leads to the main PBR. Invite, 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 invite. Guys, all we're doing is what we've been taught. David's no one special. It's just he's following the system. Razor's no one special. She's following the system. Xavier's no one special. I'm just following the system. Robert's no one special. He's just following the system. Well, Rob is special. That man's heart, it's like no other. But understand, that's all we're doing. Now, understand, do not percent just invite those brand new agent guys. The less you say, the more we close. Learn how to edify. Learn how to give people the trailer and not the movie. Let the seasoned agent do that for you. This is what we have mastered. A lot of you guys are burning your leads because you're trying to become that expert. It's okay. It's okay to be a copycat. Just copy the right cat. Leverage your leaders. Leverage your mentors. But I'm going to tell you this. The sooner you figure it out, the sooner your check goes a lot bigger, a lot faster. I never once depended on Alfred. Never. We figured it out. But what I did is certain people where I knew that they were already successful, I have to put someone that's successful. Right? And do you look at other ways of making money? Guys, I'm going to tell you this. I love the way Rob did it. Man, shout out to Rob for last Friday's PBR. That was huge. He's going to share his testimony later on, but he was smart enough to just make this happen. And what is your why? Why are you really doing this? That's where that burning desire comes from. See me, I'm sorry. I've always been a person that I felt like I had to be in charge, right? I'm pretty sure about my demeanor. If you guys don't know me, you guys know that. I am very bad with following rules. I used to always get fired from a job, but I was always the hardest worker. I was always, Daryl can tell you, Daryl worked with me side by side, not one, not two, but 3 different companies. It was Altel, it was Verizon, and it was T-Mobile. Daryl, did I ever follow the rules?
That's why we got fired.
Never follow the rules. I used to always get fired. Daryl, in a humble way, was I not the #1 selling rep in all 3 companies?
Double facts.
I'm telling you guys, you know what my why is? I have problems, another grown man telling me what to do. I have a problem with me asking permission to another grown man to spend time with my son. He's my son. I have a problem knowing that my parents was never taught about 401k and they're not even scheduled to retire. I have a problem knowing that I came all the way from the bottom in Puerto Rico, that I didn't even know what a glass window looks like. And I knew one day we'll be at a high rise. I had a problem watching my family starve. And I had a problem watching my family be involved in the wrong things to try to get by. What is your why? You have to know that. You have to know that. And edify the speaker. Guys, I'm telling you, do you know that you close a deal by just edifying your mentor? If I sat here and want to speak about Marrero, I'm going to edify the crap out of Marrero. And I'm keeping it 100. I don't have to sit here and try to lie. Oh, Marrero is an 8-figure earner. Marrero done changed millions of lives. No. Marrero is an executive sales director. What that means, she does over $50,000 in business. Now, what that means is not only is she helping a lot of people actually repair their credit, but she's also helping people walk away from their job. Marrero is loving, caring. She loves to also be a team player. She loves to have fun. And one thing is she's very knowledgeable in what she does. This is the reason why you need to speak to her. Who doesn't want to speak to Marrero? Oh, and by the way, she's a beautiful woman. Oh, the fellows are like, I need to speak to her. I need to, of course you do. Marrero, do what you do best. I'm just gonna sit back. I sit back like this and I eat popcorn and I just watch the show happen. And guess what? My back office just keeps growing. Who wants to do that? Type a #1 in the chat if you just want to edify someone, sit back, eat popcorn, and watch the show happen. Who wants to do that? Right? And also, man, set up confirmational calls. And how we always say, Rob will tell you the best. Do not give them the presentation before the presentation. Don't give them the presentation before the presentation. Why are you getting us involved? You killed the lead already. You didn't edify your mentor. And now you want to go ahead and put us on? They're going to be like, why am I speaking to this person? Why am I speaking to Marrero? I agree she's beautiful, but why am I speaking to her? Like, you kind of almost told me this. You just said it without confidence, so I already lost the confidence in the actual opportunity. And what do you mean she's an executive sales director? What does that mean? So edification is very huge, right? Be new, have posture. Guys, you know why people believed in me? Because my posture is crazy. The confidence is crazy. I sit up straight all the time. I'm not like this. Imagine this was X. Hey, yo, look, Marrero, I got this opportunity. I think maybe you should check it out. I think, in the next year or 2 or 3 years, we might be a somebody. But if I'm like, yo, Marrero, man, check this out. Yo, I think I found the vehicle. Look what's happening. Look how long they've been in business. Look at the success stories. Marrero, that's going to be me and you in the next 2, 3, 4 years. Marrero, can you see yourself there? Of course you can. And then talk to people. Talk about persons, not a thing. See, I could talk to Marrero the same way I talked to David, and I told him about people. How many lives can we change? I didn't say, yo, David, let's go out there and just get matching Mercedes. No, I talked about the person. It wasn't about the things. I don't close deals by telling people where I live at now or the car that I'm driving. It doesn't work. Those are the people you don't want in your team anyways, because guess what? By next month, they won't have it. They're going to quit. And three-way calls. If you can't get them to come out, get them on the phone. Get them on the phone, right? So at the end of the day, this is your checklist. You want to make sure you go out there and you're going to go ahead and have those videos ready, the test. You want to I'm telling you, I'll be honest with you. I know I have this up here, but I really don't like videos. I hate them. They're not personal. I'd rather sit here and talk to 10 people than send out 100 or send 100 people a video. I guarantee you I'll close a lot more talking to those 10 people. And then look, at the end of the day, get off the phone. And please keep those kids in beds or with a babysitter when you're doing these PBRs. You know what I hate the most, right? I'm up here like this and I'm presenting and now I got this little kid running around, right? Everybody's being distracted because this little kid's running around, grabbing everything he's not supposed to grab. And I'm like, little kid, if I don't choke you up real quick. And then the animals outside, man, people feel uncomfortable. Not everybody feels okay having a pit bull walking around. Oh, but he's friendly. To you, they're only loyal to one person. Look it up. And the documents on the table, man. Marrero, what's your agent's name that we just did that PBR for that couple Sundays ago?
Lorna.
Lorna. Man, ask Marrero. When I walked in there, I said, Marrero, this is heaven. This is heaven. She had the chairs set up. Me and Mark came and put up the banners, right? She had food for people, water, tea, lemonade. I was loving that. I was eating like a fat kid. And then the documents, she already had them on the table. She even had the 1 through 10. Guys, look, the 1 through 10s and those magazines close deals like crazy. Close deals like crazy, right? And then look, even for the room, cool room temperature, refreshments as guests when they're arriving, no alcohol. You don't need to get these people tipsy to show them the value, right? Light snacks after the presentation, upbeat music before the presentation, after the presentation, right? Get those hips moving, right? Especially Latinos, you be out there like this, right? You should see Rob do it. And then he'd be dancing his little bachata. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And then always a sign-in sheet. Why? Because this is data. This is what's worth money. This is how we're going to follow up. Guys, this is very, very important. And at the end of the day, have fun. Man, Mark can tell you, man, me and Mark get in the room, we do a PBR, we know we closing more than half of the room. The energy's there. Me and her bugging out. They're like, man, how can we be like y'all? We just have fun. And then we just read whatever's on the sheet, whatever's on the screen, that's what we're reading. Trust me, I never graduated college. I can't read that good. We have fun, right? Again, now you want to make sure the rules. Welcome the guests, but make sure they turn off their phones. I tell people all the time, hey, is everybody here? Hey, can I see y'all phones? Put it up. Go ahead and take a selfie. Psych, I need you to go ahead and mute that phone. We don't need any interruptions. So I go from fun to being serious. And don't ever apologize, right? Guys, we're going to put you out there. And you're like, well, my name is Xavier. I'm sorry, guys. Let me start over. No, never, ever apologize. And always edify that speaker. Talk about their past, their present, and the future. David Marquez did a hell of a training on this. How do you tell your story? What did you used to do before? What is this doing for you now? And how's that future looking like? And also, man, sit through the presentation and take notes. Man, you know how many times I see, not in Relentless, again, not in Relentless, we move completely different. But I go to do a PBR and the person I'm doing the PBR for is like this. Or they're in the back of the room because they think they're cool and they're like this. Like, how is your potential going to take this serious? And never interrupt. Oh man, that's the worst thing during a PBR. Myra's killing it. Hey, Myra, hold on. Can you tell them about the R&R club? Can you tell them about the how the company is paying for your car? Wait, what? Bro, I'm still talking about UCES. What do you mean tell them about the R&R? Never do that. And also, man, sort your guests after the presentation. Like, I see agents get together with agents and I'm seeing the guests just walking out the door. I'm like, guys, what are y'all doing? Got to make sure you cater to your guests, right? 72-hour calls. How's that invite going? Have you been role playing, right? Talking about their why, teaching them edification. This is everything that you want to do. Do they have that list of 100 people? Invite up A players. Guys, look, I already knew who my A players were. Those are my same vice presidents and above right now. Every single person that I have on that list as an A player right now is a VP or above. Or at least an ESD and above, period. Confirmation, right? You want to make sure that they're coming through. The house is set up. The three-way calls are there with the SDs or above. You have a large organization. You can get a hold of a sales director. Just don't waste their time. Because some of you guys, I'm not going to point any fingers, but some of you guys are wasting our time. And then you wonder why you might get ignored. I'm sorry. Playboy, 3 strikes, you're out. You tell me you got a PBR, I'm clearing my schedule, and then 9 o'clock comes, and I'm texting you like, what happened? Ain't we supposed to be on a webinar? Ain't we supposed to be meeting? Oh, nah, I went about it a whole different way. Oh, nah, I sent them a video instead. That's disrespectful. I just cleared up my schedule for you. What are you talking about? You sent them a video. Now I'm questioning, do you really even have any appointments set up? But then you want to get a hold of me again and expect me to stop everything I'm doing to get back on a Fugazi call? It's Fugazi, it was never there. And I understand things happen, but that's why we ask you to confirm. Give them, hey, are you sure you're going to be available? I check 30 minutes and 15 minutes before every single call. Because if they're not going to be there, I'm moving on. I got to fill up my schedule. See, if I look at some of y'all schedule, I can tell you exactly what your paycheck's going to look like next week. I can tell you exactly what your paycheck's going to look like next week. So look, find your projects and get them paid. With Razor, I knew she was going to be a project. I knew I was going to have to work with her, but I didn't have to do too much, but I had to make sure she got paid. David the same way. Rob the same way. Dr. Arnold Bogarty and so many. Myra the same way. See, these are individuals, especially like David and Myra, that already came from a different company. Obviously, they wasn't getting paid like that. So now when I showed them, I remember David Marquez called me after like the 2nd or 3rd week of being in business. He's like, bro, I just made $1,100 in a week. I'm like, yeah, bro, that's what we do over here. He's like, X, no, you don't understand that. You know how long it took me in that other company to make $1,100 in a month? In a month? And I'm like, how long? And I don't remember the exact, but it was like a whole year. He's like, X, I just did that in a week over here. And this is like my 3rd week in business. I said, my brother, I told you I wasn't playing with you. I told you that vision I told you was going to happen. And you put in the work. And because of that, the company's paying you. Let's go get it. Now this man's a multiple 6-figure earner, R&R member, retired his wife from the medical field. And now we can travel whenever we want to. You know how many bottles we've been popping? And I don't even drink. It's crazy, right? And how's the inviting going? Man, role play. My son will tell you, Daddy, you going crazy. You talking to yourself again? Yup. I was role playing by myself. And guys, couples, no, not that type of role play. You say that for later. That's for the celebration. Robin Razor, that's for the celebration. for role playing. Role play with your agents, role play by yourself. Establish your why. Anybody knows, I'm like, yo, what is your why? Why? Because when you try to quit on me, I'm gonna remind you, I'm gonna put it in your face. Yo, David, yo, Rob, you're telling me you're okay by telling your son and your daughter that you're a quitter? Because at the end of the day, I remember you told me your why was for your kids. So you're telling me you're okay to quit. So if you're willing to quit, that means go tell your son and your daughter, look them straight in the eyes and tell them daddy's a quitter. You think someone's gonna quit? And you just teach them how to edify. Marrero already did a training on this. Amazing training. Marrero does it so natural. Like, we're like, Marrero, how can we do that? But you know what I tell people all the time? Type in right now on the chat, who is someone you look up to? It could be a family member, your mom or dad. It could be a celebrity. It could be Michael Jordan. It could be Beyonce. It could be Jay-Z. It could be an actor, right? Type in right now in the chat, who do you look up to? And if I was to unmute your line, can you edify that person to me? I guarantee you 100% of everyone will be able to do it. And y'all don't even know it. It's the exact same thing with your leader. It's the exact same thing with your mentor, right? We already talked about that, right? Look, I'm not even gonna go through this. Look, this is enough. Enough is enough. We already talked about that. What I want to do is I want to get myself out the way. And the first person I want to bring on is going to be our Executive Vice President, David Marquez. And I just want David Marquez to just go ahead and explain to us what has PBRs really done for him and how did he make it to $500,000 plus in business every single 30 days, only after 2 years of being in business. So, Mr. David Marquez, Executive Vice President, are you on?
Yes, I am. I'm here. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Go ahead, my brother. The mic is yours.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you, X, Myra, always holding it down. Appreciate it. I just want to share with you guys something that X talked about and let you guys know how serious it is. You know, I have about 1,200 active agents in my organization. So just by using the PBRs, right? And I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to share my screen with you just so you can see what it really means to be in the trenches, right? Can you see my screen? Cool. So when I first started, and I knew this is what I needed to do, because I remember sitting in the back of the room and seeing these people presenting, and I remember inviting people, and a lot of the people wouldn't sign up, you know, that I brought, and then I seen one person that I bought sign up with somebody else, and I vowed I'd never let that happen again. Why? Because a mentor once told me the person with the clicker gets paid quicker, right? So I knew I wanted to be in the front of the room. And so that picture to the left, this was at Take 5 Cafe. I was literally working at a place called UMA, and this is where I met Xavier and Courtney, and a bunch of us came from there. But during our lunchtime, we were holding PBRs. You heard X say it. You don't have to do it. You don't have to have this extravagant room. Doesn't have to be at a restaurant. Doesn't have to be anywhere. It can be right there at a Panera Bread, right? And the PBR is really what did it for me. I just started showing people, and you can see in that picture, I took the picture, but I actually had my mentor start doing it for me. Then if you look at the picture in the middle, that was our old house where he threw me out there. You know, here I'm inviting people and I'm thinking he's going to do the presentation. And then right then he tells me, hey, you're going to do the first half. And I'm like, hey, no, I'm not. And he was like, well, I ain't doing it. And so because of that, I knew I had to get out my comfort zone and do it. And guys, I started doing it. You can see the other picture. I'm wearing some And1 shorts, right? I'm doing it, but I got out of my comfort zone. And that's really what set it for me. Right. So I'm going to show you another thing. You guys can still see it. So that was the transformation. You guys see that? I ended up going from, and this is why I tell you this. Let me stop sharing my screen if I can get here. Okay. So when you do the PBR events, right? First of all, if you haven't done a PBR event, you need to attend PBR events, right? You need to see how it's done. At the same time, you need to come prepared. See, with me, you don't have to go out and speak in front of everybody. You can go out there and get your 1 through 10 printed up, and you can actually sit with somebody and show them this. This is basically the presentation, right? And then you also want to have a sign-in sheet, and you want to be able to go in there. But when I started doing this, guys, this is what Xavier was talking about, the duplication. See, I started going, and I would do, I would attend 3 PBRs a week, right? 3 PBRs a week. It was Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. I would go right after work, still dressed up from work clothes, going to the PBR events. I made it, even if I had somebody. I don't know if you guys can agree with me. I used to pick people up, and I lived in Odessa, and I would pick them up in Brandon, drive them to my house for me to give the presentation. Then I dropped them off, and they didn't have no money, so they didn't sign up, but I just went through the process because I knew the exponential growth was going to happen, right? So I started. Now I'm going to take my calculator out because this is the math. I told you I got 1,300 active agents on my team. So check it out. If you did 3 PBRs, right? And this is what I did, 3 PBRs a week. And out of those 3 PBRs, right, you strive for 5. You end up getting 5 business partners. Now your 5 business partners, they're only going to duplicate what you do. So they go out there and they host 3 PBRs a week, right? Now you're talking 15 PBRs happening in a week. Now we know on average, if you're inviting 7 to 10 people that show up, you're going to get about 3 signups. So if you take 15 PBRs a week, multiply that times 3, that's 45 new agents coming in weekly. In 52 weeks, right? This is taking weekends off, right? That's 2,300 new agents, right? But let's say you did half of that. That's 1,100. That's what took me to EVP. I just share with you, I got about that many active agents. That's all you have to do. But if you're not doing any of them, if you're not showing up, right? You're not around the fire. 2, how the hell can you ever learn how to do a PBR if you're not going, right? And so it's true. I did that. It took my, and I'll tell you guys, in the beginning, who cares if you invite and people don't show up, who cares? All those people are, I remember I went through my list just 2 days ago, and I went through my list, and don't try to keep it in your head. I'm telling you, that's the worst thing you could do. You're going to circle around the same 20 people. But when I go through my list and I actually see it, I'm like, oh, damn, I forgot about, Susie. And so what happened is I messaged somebody yesterday, and they didn't even let me get to inviting them. I just said, hey. They were like, hey, listen, can I do what you're doing with a full-time job too? And so I said, funny, and I answered it, and I invited them out, and they came out to the PBR event. So you got to always, that should be a no-brainer. 3 days a week, guys. If you do 3 days a week, you get your 5, you teach them to do 3 days a week. That's 15 PBRs, right? 3 enrollments from each PBR, that's 45. 45 times 52, that's 20, over 2,000, right? Agents coming in. That's in a year. That's how you can get to EVP and SVP. But you know what? Most of you guys ain't going to do it. And it's sad. It's like you just hear it, but you got to take action. I learned if you haven't found the ace yet, you have to be the ace. And the ace stands for action cures everything. So if you're not happy with the results you got, you need to go out there and start scheduling your own PBR. And then last but not least, the last tip I'm gonna leave you with, I wanted to host my own PBRs. I wanted it to be simple. I didn't want to do it where I had to pay money because I know some people pay for spots. That's not really duplicatable. What I would say is you can go to any B4 Brady's, you can go to a Glory Days, you can go to any place that has a back room, right? Make sure there's no distractions. And you can walk up to that owner, that restaurant owner or general manager and say, hey, excuse me, sir, what is the slowest day of the week, right? They're going to tell you Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. And then all you have to do is say, look, what if I can take the slowest day of the week and have it actually compete with your busier days? And they're like, how are you going to do that? And what is it going to cost me? You say nothing. Just give me that back room there for 1 hour, 8 o'clock. And I do networking events so I can have people come and spend money on food and drinks for after the PBR, right? And just by allowing me to do that once a week, I'll bring your slowest day up to compete with your busiest day. Now you just got a free PBR. See, that's duplicatable. Teach that to your team and you'll be successful. And I'll see you guys at the top. Let's get it. Thank you.
Man, David, thank you for those golden nuggets. Guys, look, you don't have to be this fancy person and have this fancy location to become successful. David done it. I've done it. Reza has done it. So many other people have done it. We started at Beef O'Grady's. We started at like restaurants, Cali Viejo, where at the end of the day, man, these are like run down restaurants, but we didn't care. Our confidence, our posture made people come. And then when they heard the information is valuable. They're going to be there. But I want to get myself out the way, and I want to bring one of our regional vice president who killed the game. And I want her to talk about not only the PBR she scheduled, but talk about how was it so tough? And it wasn't even tough. Let me be careful with the terminology that I use. How is it that you became so successful and you had no leader, no mentors, no one in the business that was in your background and was in your local city? Let's go ahead and hear from our regional vice president, Ms. Reza Otero.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to give it back to you guys. What David said was super powerful. Like a lot of people think that you need to find the perfect location, right? I remember being in IHOPs. So I'm telling you guys, it only churches, abuelita's house. I mean, it didn't really matter. But definitely want to give it back. Always want to definitely give it back to my mentor. I was just telling one of my new agents who just hit field trainer, I want to shout her out, Vivian, that, you know, it really start, because she just went through that where she did a PBR and no one came, but we still hit field trainer, knocked it out first 5. And so just want to really give it back to her. But it starts with, you know, vision. I really, like, I talked to my leadership team today. It really starts with vision, because I really always say that if you didn't come up here and show me what was possible, because I just remember seeing my mentors grinding it out. I remember seeing you guys back-to-back phone calls, and I just remember seeing the pre-apps. I remember hearing the conversations, and that's what really people have to get attached to. So I believe it starts with vision and understanding that what you can make happen here. If you don't understand that yet, like, it's crazy. But, you know, as Xavier says, you know, when I met him, I was broken, bankrupt. I mean, everything you can imagine. I had no money, single mom, living in an empty 3,000 square foot home. So I had to make something happen, but I also needed to see the vision. So it started there. But I also remember Xavier pushing me. And that's one thing we're working on with our team right now, because for the longest, we were doing webinars and webinars and webinars. And although we say use your mentor, guess what? Skill number 3 out of the 7 in this industry is presenting. So when I understood that, and when Xavier said, you know what, I'm not coming to your market unless you actually start presenting, was I scared? Yes, hell yes. If you ask Xavier, I'm not one to talk in front of well, now it's different, right? But back then, I wouldn't talk in front of nobody. I was scared. I would shake. I couldn't breathe. X was like, yo, breathe. You know, I remember him telling me to breathe. But I did it anyway. And, you know, I started at a hookah lounge. Like right now, like I don't even know how I did that, but you know, at the beginning, no one showed up. Guess what? I had me a hookah and a drink. Well, hey, nobody came, but I'm here. Next week, hey, I got one person, but guess what? Guess who enrolled, or I got a pre-app, or the information was presented to at that hookah lounge? Vice President Lucinda Lopez, Executive Sales Director Cherie Torres. Okay, so as you guys are thinking about those names, it started at the hookah lounge. And so then it became where now 5 people came, 2 people came, right? 3 people came. It came to a point we couldn't do them at the hookah lounge no more. But in between that, one thing that Xavier always taught me was always build from event to event. The PBRs build to the weekly event. So I had the weekly event. That doesn't mean Monday to Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I wasn't doing anything. That's when I was in living rooms. That's when I was at IHOPs. I was driving an hour away to go to churches. I mean, if I were to show you guys the pictures, when I hit vice president, Rob is my witness. I didn't even know I hit VP. You know why? I was in a realtor's house in her dining room. And I remember this very clear because she made us take off our shoes to go into her house, and it's cold. And I remember being there, enrolling her, and then coming out of it, and everybody's like, oh my God, you hit vice president, because all my leaders were in my back office. But I was grinding it out still in someone's living room. And so I think that this is very important that you're training on this, X, because it's literally the key. The key to this is to present the information to as many people as possible. Guess what? You may do it wrong 1 to 5 times. So what? How are you going to get better if you don't start? And so one thing that I will tell, one of my agents told me to come out, right? This week, this Thursday, she's presenting, she wanted me to come out because she's presenting to 60 realtors, but she had senior field trainer, and I've seen her present, and she saw me present. And now I'm like, well, X pushed me out of my comfort zone. So now I'm like, I'm gonna push her. No, you do it. You do the PBR. You present the information to those 60 realtors. Do I want to be there to support her? Yes. But you know what? I want to rip the pacifier out. I want her to go out there, kill it, come back and roll like 10 H's and be like, I got this. Because once I did that, I was like, X, it's go time. That's all you had to tell me. So, you know, if I were to show you guys all the pictures of everywhere that we went and all the time when we were building this, and even till this day, I mean, to this day, I just came back from Massachusetts. Yeah, we had the event, but guess what I was doing 2 days prior? I was at a realtor event. I was at another realtor event. It doesn't stop. We have to continue to share the information. This is the key, guys. Presenting is the key. Do it scared, mess up. Who cares? Just do it. Once you do it, I'm telling you, how many people in my organization, once they've actually done it, they're like, oh, I got this. The problem is most people don't actually do it. You're allowing your fear to stop you from doing what's possible here. There's no difference between you and I. You could go do it. You're just not doing it. So I'm glad that you're having this training, because it's literally what we've been talking with the leadership team, and even the new wave, the pandemic babies, right? That came in through the Zoom, is just teaching them how to get out of that and really go out there and build. Thank you, guys.
Man. Let's give it let's fires number 1 in the chat for David and Reza. I got another person I want to come and show your testimonies. But before I do that, guys, look, stay plugged in. Right now, we had 144 people. We're at 140. We're going a little bit over. As leaders, we talked about not going over this hour. So we're going to get better at that. But today, like, that rule's not going to apply, man. This is too many golden nuggets. That's why people are still plugged in. And I'm going to go into what's about to happen this Saturday. And I guarantee you guys don't want to miss the details about that, because somebody's going to walk away with an Apple Air laptop. Type of number 1 if you're trying to get a brand new Air from Apple laptop. Because I remember how much I paid for this bad boy that I'm using right now. It's going to be the exact same computer. We ain't playing. This is what leadership does. This is how we want to show we appreciate you guys. And we don't need to do this. We could take that money and spend it in our family. We could take that money and give it to somebody else. But we say, you know, as leaders, we want to show our team how much we appreciate them. We're going to have laptops, and I'm going to get into that a little bit later, because the next person I have coming up, man, this is my brother from another mother. This is one of our vice presidents, and I guarantee you, if you guys ever seen this man present his first presentation, you might have ran out that room, because I was ready to run out that room, and I was embarrassed, like literally embarrassed, like to tell people that was my right-hand man, because he just sucked at it. And I say that because now, when you hear who he is, you're like, what? That person sucked at one point? We all sucked at one point. David goes in there and kills it, right? About mindset and training. Y'all might think this man was born to do that. Razor goes up there and kills the business and the service presentation, y'all might think she was born to do that. Guys, we all sucked. Myra at one point couldn't edify nobody. She sucked at it. But you know what it was? We got out of our comfort zones and we made stuff happen. So I want to bring one of our vice presidents who actually just constantly always thought outside the box, constantly thought how he could go out there and create PBRs without my help. Guys, you know what? David didn't need my help to go PBRs. Razor didn't need my help to go get PBRs. Dr. Arnold Brogody didn't need David or my help to go create the PBRs that he's doing. He didn't wait for none of us. Dr. Arnold Brogody said, you know what? This is my business. I don't care. This is my business. I'm gonna mind my business, and I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna do what I need to do for my business. I don't care what David's doing. I don't care what X is doing. I don't care what Alfred's doing. This is my business. And because of that, right now he has one of the PBR, one of the biggest, if not the biggest PBR happening in the whole entire Tampa. I think almost in the whole entire Central Florida. I don't know nobody else that's doing the PBRs he's doing every single week. So shout out, put a number 1 in flames for Dr. Arnold Brogody real quick, man. This man don't wait for no one. See, he knows that that train is going and he ain't stopping for no one. And he's leading by example. But the next person I'm gonna bring in, this is an individual who always thought outside the box. And I want him just to go out there, like, we about to just pick his brain real quick and say, how was you able to get that many people there? What actions did you take? What is it that you really did to get these people to commit that you didn't have to call them a day before, an hour before to make sure that they were going to show up? This man has been doing this for a couple of years now, and I always admired him because of that. And again, he didn't wait for me. So many of you guys are just waiting for your leader. Guess what? You're going to be waiting for a long time, and you also going to be waiting for that paycheck for a very long time. You're going to be waiting for that title for a very long time. You're going to be waiting for that life-changing event for a very long time, because they should be busy anyways, right? So let's go ahead and give it up to our Vice President, Rob Santiago. Are you on, my brother?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, running.
Man, you got me laughing over here today. I told her, I said, he came out. He bringing out all the tricks. Shout out to Myra. To you, my brother. Thank you for pushing us all out of that comfort zone. David, Arnold, my other half, man. I've seen, all of them grow. I'm being here from the beginning to be able to see everyone come out of that comfort zone and go up there and fail, and we'll laugh about it at the events, and we're the only ones laughing because we're the only ones who know what happened and how many times X said a certain word, or how many times David said a certain word, and I think we counted 13, right, David? Last time we were trying to count, but we have fun with it, man. And I'm gonna share my screen quickly just to share. I did a little PowerPoint at the same time while we were doing this, just to share with you guys again, like where it started from, because we did start from the back, right? Everyone started somewhere. So this was my first event. I came as a guest. That's Bobby Kim at the front. Shout out to Bobby, man. Learning from him and Xavier. That's all I did. Like I was sitting in that back of the room, get my selfie real quick with the room, just showing that I was in there. And I didn't have no guests in there. I was the guest. But I was already seeing that where it's gonna grow from here. And it's huge, man. This is where it started. PBRs. This is my first ever. This is the first time if you guys see it, it was on a little TV up here at the top. It was crazy to see that. Another one, same room, consistently every week. But then from there, I stepped up and started doing mine. This is a living room in Spanish. I mean, if anybody's listening to me speaking Spanish, it's not the best, but I can tell you how to enroll in Spanish, right? I can show you how to get that protection plan done. So this was one of the PBR, but showing you guys again, being in the trenches and what that did for us. These people didn't know. They didn't know what they don't know. So if you mess up, like you said, don't ever apologize. Just go over the info. Every single person that's on the call right now knows the protection plan. Every single person knows. Like all you got to do is read that piece of paper, which you now have, which we didn't have before. We literally create, like a lot of people. I remember we didn't even have a presentation, but going from living room to restaurant to the Panera breads. So David made a great point. Don't, especially when you just starting, don't go and find a location that you got to pay $500 to $1,000 and you're not confirming, you're not charging for nothing, everything is coming out of your pocket. No, go to somewhere where it's free. I use what he said all the time. Let me talk to that restaurant owner. Tuesdays is about to be lit for you. Like, you don't know, Wes, I'm going to promote your business. I'm going to bring people here. I need a private menu for you guys when my people come, because we're about to bring 15, 20, 30 people here when your people is usually just hanging out on the clock. So Panera Bread was one of the spots that I would use too. That was like my Dunkin' Donuts, right? A lot of people use Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks. I'll go to Panera Bread, use the little office, and it didn't charge me nothing. Look, shout out to my man Turner. He's one of the first regional sales directors in the company from the deaf community. And he's there with his daughter in this picture. You know what I'm saying? So it just shows the dedication that, think about that. Shout out to man, being a deaf agent, being a father, and still in the trenches with me back in 2018. And that man is still working. Brandon was the one who took the picture. Look how the FBS R&R Club was in the picture in the screen. If you look at those, are the classic screens. So looking at that and going into the Starbucks and showing people the plan, I was teaching agents how to go field trainer. Look, we even had our iFix credit stickers on our laptops, right? We were creative, man. We just trying to figure it out. We didn't learn. We just learned that on the way. But look what it led to. Shout out to my wife, man. Put some flames in the chat for the whole Massachusetts team. For Relentless in general, what the whole company is talking about, what we just did in Worcester. And I said it right. You can't come for me. I've been up there, love. Like I know how the city is. I've seen them grow to that hookah lounge, to filling out one of the biggest spots in Mass, to pull the string. Shout out to Natalie, man, and the whole team, everybody who was there that put that together, because, bro, this is one of the biggest stages that I've ever spoke on. 400, 500 people. Just looking at, think about that. And we all came from being scared to talk to a couple people at one point. But then you can start getting creative. I see the people doing credited cocktails. They're doing this, they're doing that. Remember, X said in the beginning, we ain't all follow the rules, right? We break the rule. I started introducing people at my event that we just did recently. Shout out to everybody who came out. And this was just an idea, man. So some people, this came out of nowhere. I was just like, man, I want to put something together for just the fellas, that this is a little bit like, I didn't have to chase anybody down to get involved with this. To be honest with you guys, it was one of the easiest events to host. Like, everybody wanted to come out. I found a location. It ended up being the Hard Rock Casino. Shout out to Chad if he's on here. Big salute to him. He made that connection between me and the coordinator of the Hard Rock. And they gave us a private patio. Nobody could come in there but us in the casino. How much y'all think that costs? Right, X? I'm gonna teach him a little something. How much you think a private patio bar costs at the casino in a major city? Everybody's looking at me like, what? You in a casino? Bro, a private bar? What do you mean you got private bartenders and a private bar at the casino? How much you pay for this? Y'all want to know how much I pay for that location? Nothing. Not $1. I didn't pay $1 for the how. How did I do that? How were we able to come up with that? Guys, having these conversations with people that just show you this was a food and beverage. All I paid for was the food and beverage at the location. They gave me a certain dollar amount that I needed to hit as a group. It charged me $150 for the bartenders. I put that total number together and I divided it by the amount of people that I wanted to come to that PBR. And my goal was 40 people. So I put a price tag on it. I said, look, I'm going to charge $40 entry, 2 drinks and a small appetizer. And you get a private bar at the casino exclusive just for us to network with people. I'm bringing professional 6- and 7-figure earners are going to be in the building. I'm going to be able to introduce you to people from having success in all different industries. And people will ask me, Rob, what you trying to get out of this? Nothing but building relationships with people. I didn't pocket nothing from this event. Nothing came out my pocket. Nothing went in my pocket. But the relationships that were built in that room, and those 3 hours that they gave me, You know how exclusive it looked on social media. You know how many people was mad that they couldn't get in that room because we already have 40. I even got a little Puerto Rican. Shout out to my brother Miguel at the bottom left. I got a little Puerto Rican squeezed like an extra 5-7 people in here. And to a point where they're allowing us to go back. There's just a couple pictures of what it looked like. Again, shout out to all the fellas, but we mentioned big vision. Big vision. It starts small. Everything big starts small. From the living room to the restaurant, free, from finding event spaces like this. So what I'm telling you, I'm so excited about what we got going on with this because I see such a bigger vision to where I want to pack out an arena. I want to be able to, right now, this is a personal goal for me with these events, to just go from event to event to event, to be able to stack a room with 1,400 to 1,500 people. Why not? Why can't we do it? I remember David showing us pictures in an old company when he was sitting at the nosebleeds watching the 6- and 7-figure earners on stage. We're the 6-figure earners now. So think about where we're going in the next 2 to 3 years. But if you don't start getting in the trenches right now, how would you ever end up there in the front? But you got to visualize it first, right? My mentor always told me you got to see it. So I said, man, I need to be on that stage. Would you allow me to manifest this moment? Because I'm just doing the patio bar right now. But when I tell you I'm going to stack this with 1,400 people, best believe it. So when they seen all the pictures and the staff getting back to them and they said, man, they packed out that patio bar. That thing was successful. This is a $40,000 location. And I'm already putting it in the atmosphere that we're going to fill this with 1,400 plus people. You got to have a bigger vision. I can't wait to see the Tampa event, which we're going to be talking about very soon. And all the extra goodies that X is about to drop on us right now about, this weekend. But man, just follow the right cats. Like follow David, Raisa, Arnold, all of these individuals that are just out there working. And like he said, don't just, man, I want to be around you. When I came around X, I was grinding. Like I was bringing people. I was bringing him to people. I was bringing him into the restaurants, into the ghetto, into everywhere. It didn't matter. Like he didn't know where I was going to take him at. Or I was going to end up going with him. And when we go into rooms, it was a wrap. So when you sit there and you're looking at it like, man, oh, my mentor's not helping me. That don't make sense to us. It don't. It really doesn't. I can't relate to someone that says, you're not paying me no attention. Or you want to be mentored or you want to be paid attention to. There's two different things. You can't. We don't get paid for that. We get paid to go out there and produce. We get paid to put it in clients and agents, but if you're not showing the information to new people, you're not going to get no new results from what you're going through right now. So understand, I love the fact that this pandemic is kind of like getting away a little bit to where we could get back into the trenches and do what we do, because this is my favorite part about the business. And I know it's just going to take us to a 7-figure level. So X, I'm going to give it back to you, my brother.
Yo, man, let's put some flames on number ones for Rob, man, our vice president. And before I get to the exciting part, I also want to give a special recognition, special shout out to Dr. Arnold Bogarty. This gentleman, again, has the largest PBR going right now. And what I loved about this man, he never, ever waited once for any of us, not once. And guys, the reason why we put this man in the beginning of the whole massive event, and look, Woodchester, did I say that right? Woodchester. I don't want to get beat up, right? They're saying like threatened emails and stuff like that. I don't want to receive those. But the man set the tone, because when he gets in the front of the room, his posture is so like, I don't know how to explain it. People are listening, right? Rob told him, hey, leave the muscles at home, right? You might intimidate some people, right? But at the end of the day, it's that posture that people are going to listen to this man. And that's what everybody just needs. Have that posture like you're the Arnold, like you're that Power Ranger standing in front of the room with these superpowers, right? With that posture that you know the information, that you know you have a vision, that you know what you carry has a ton of value. And I guarantee you people have no choice but to listen, period, right? But guys, I want to share something with you because this is going to be huge, right? Let me go ahead and get out of here real quick. This right here is going to be huge. And the reason why is because at the end of the day, as leaders, right? Not just one person. It wasn't just X, right? It was us as leaders. We're going to do this Thanksgiving dinner potluck. We want everybody to go ahead and show up. Now, this is going to be November 20th, which is this Saturday from 2 to 6. The address is right there. The flyers are being put up on the bed. Now, understand this, that we're giving away a brand new Apple laptop. It arrives here tomorrow. If I wish it was here so I could show you brand new, right? But I'm pretty sure y'all know my word is bomb. Like, that's going to be there. Now, besides that, all the leaders today started sending me money and said, X, let's think about the kids, right? I said, let's do it. We went, we got neck massagers, right? We got little boots that you can put on. They're going to go ahead and massage your feet because a lot of you guys are out there grinding. A lot of you guys are out there just putting in that work. Sometimes we need to get home and we need just to relax. So we've got neck massagers that we're going to give away. We got the little boots that I'm telling you about. It's going to massage your little foot or big foot. If you're like Rob, you got like size 12. Like I think Arnold's been able to wear his shoes because how big his foot is, right? But we talk about that a little bit later, right?
I want my shoes back.
Right? But what do they always say about people with big feet? Big socks, right? See, some of you guys are thinking nasty. Y'all shouldn't be thinking that way. Big feet equals big socks, right? So look, Razor's laughing ear to ear. Razor, you don't need to know nothing. Keep it to yourself, right? So guys, look, check this out. At the end of the day, what we want to do is we want to show everybody appreciation. Guys, we understand the spirit's a little bit down. It's the part of the industry through this season, which Razor already showed us at the end of the day, there's no such thing as slow season. She just went out there and did more PBRs, spoke to more people, and her production, instead of going like this, said it like this, period. So no excuses, right? We don't want to hear them. Excuses only sound good to the people that makes them. Everyone else can smell them a whole mile away, right? So we want to show you guys appreciation. We want to keep the excitement down. Not only are we going to sneak in, right? We're going to sneak in a bouncy house, or I think we got insurance on it, right? Rob will tell us a little bit later about that. Right? But we got the bouncy house for the kids. We got the laptop for someone that's going to need it, right? We got the little massages for people to relax. But you know what? We actually got toys to give away to the kids. Because at the end of the day, like I told the team, you know what? You know what always will make me smile? If I see my son smiling. If someone can make my son smile, I promise you, you'll become one of my good peoples. See, I don't have friends. You'll become one of my good peoples. And we want to go ahead and show the team exactly that. So how are you going to be able to get these prizes? It's very easy. It's very simple. For every brand new agent that you get, all you got to do is show us how many brand new agents, how many brand new customers do you get for last value month and for the week of this value month. So we're talking about 5 weeks of work. So if you guys put in the work, not only did the company pay you, but we about to go ahead and give you some gifts, some prizes. So for every new agent that you can show us on your email, we're going to verify it, right? We can go in the back office. And so no little sneaky stuff. If I catch anybody doing anything sneaky, I'm taking away all your raffle tickets. You're automatically disqualified because at Relentless, we do everything the right way. We move with integrity, period. That's just a standard. Just like we have 100+ people to get started, that's a standard we will never lower, period. Then, so for every new agent, you're going to get 2 raffle tickets. For every brand new client, you're going to get 1 raffle ticket. Man, just for showing up, you're going to get a raffle ticket. And then every single can food, or for every just can food bringing in, you're going to get 2 tickets as well. So guys, you have an opportunity to get a whole bunch of raffle tickets from now to then, not including what you did your last 4 weeks. And think about how much fun is your family going to have. That spouse that might not believe in the business, might not believe in the team, might not believe in the organization. Show them that we're nothing about, but we're all about family. What about that friend that questioned your decision and thought you was crazy? Bring them too, right? What about that boss that you can't wait till you tell them about that eye problem, right? At the end of the day, what do we say? We're going to fire a boss, and then we're going to turn around and we're going to what? We're going to hire a boss. I mean, I walked away and turned around and went out to Courtney and got Courtney. Courtney was my trainer at a job just over broke. A job means just over broke. I was tired of just being over broke, right? Life is not meant to just work 24/7 and then be broke and have bad credit. I don't know. It's just, we can't relate no more. Right? And then, but check this out, because this is a family event. Not only are you going to bring your family and friends, but as Relentless, we're one unit. Everybody's going to bring something to eat. That's a potluck. We already have a person or two that's committed to bring a turkey, right? I won't say her name, Yo Erika, but you know, don't worry, right? We already got somebody else that is going to go ahead and bring a ham. I won't say her name, Tiffany. And don't let Arnold take credit for that ham. Don't let Arnold take credit for that ham. I'm telling y'all right now, Arnold does not cook. Right? He already told us, hey, look, when she got married, it was 50-50. So when she cooks, I had the right to take credit. And I said, I'm putting you on blast. I'm putting Arnold on blast right now. Arnold does not cook. All that good food that he's been putting on his story and his live, he didn't make it. It was Tiffany. My brother, stop taking credit for something you didn't do, right? So she's going to go ahead and bring some ham, right? Anybody else? You got some gandules, some mac and cheese, man, that's soul food, that mac and cheese. Man, I remember my neighbor growing up, they had the best mac and cheese, hands down, right? Puerto Ricans, we can't even get close to it, right? So we need some mac and cheese out there. I don't know, maybe Courtney, I don't know, Courtney, if you're listening, man. We're probably looking for that mac and cheese, right? But everything. We want everybody to go out there. Rob went out there today. He got the little baskets so we can put the tickets in. He went and got all the silverware, the plates. You know, I think Razor was there because when he showed me the little plates and stuff that he got, it was like all color coordinated. It was all about the season.
It was not.
Look at that. What man does that? It's because he's married to somebody that's so picky and said, Rob, when you go out there, you better make sure you don't make us look bad, right? So Rob's like, oh, smack. The last thing you want to do is have an angry wife, you know what I mean? Because then you're going to have a messed up life.
I have that.
So, but look, at the end of the day, that's what he went out to do. Then David went out, you know what I mean? Went out there and Rob purchased the turkey. David went out there and grabbed it because, again, I'm not going to say who's going to cook it, but you already got, but we're not going to put her on blast, right? But guys, I'm telling you, take a role, step up, go out there, show support. We're a big family. We're giving away as leaders, not as one person, but as leaders, show you appreciation. And we want to show your kids that we really appreciate what their mom and dad has been doing for them. And we all going to sit there and we're going to break bread together, from the brand new agent all the way to the SVP and everything in between. And then guess what? A lot of you people, we still have to meet in person. You get to shake Razor's hand. You get to give Rob and David and Arnold a hug, right? I don't know if you're a guy, I don't know if you want to give them a hug, but Arnold will be more than happy. Arnold loves giving people a hug. I don't know what's wrong with him, but he always tells me, Xavier, it just makes people happier. I'm like, bro, with those big ass muscles, like, you want to make me happier, we'd be ready to fight. So don't come and hug me, right? But think about the side conversations that you can have with them. Like David just sat there, and what he said earlier today was just mind-blowing to even us as leaders, because it's so true. Imagine how much more wisdom this man has that he's yet to share on any of these platforms. Now you're sitting next to him, you're making bread, you're eating this banging turkey that his wife just made, and you're like, yo, David, like, what else got you to the top? What mindset did you create to make sure you never gave up? Because as I see, this business is not easy, but you're right, it can be so simple. Let him explain that to you. It's completely different than having this training. Go ahead and pull Myra to the side. Myra, how did you learn how to edify so easily? Myra, they say we can role play. Can we role play real quick? Yo, X, I got somebody on a call right now that wants the information because they see me on live. Like, can you get on this? Look, as long as I'm not eating, and as long as I'm not with my son, I'll be more than happy to get on that phone call. You know how many deals we're going to close? And this is not even a business event. This is a family and friend event. But you're going to have the best of the best in the room. Breaking bread. People are receiving gifts. Somebody's getting a brand new laptop. I don't know about y'all, but you can ask any of my leaders. I don't remember our mentors giving us free laptops.
Oh,
Guys,
no.
our leaders, I told them today, Even if we don't agree with everything, I am blessed to have you guys as the leadership team. We move different. Our principles and morals is completely different than anybody else. And you know what's crazy? Corporate realized that, and corporate's leveraging us in so many different levels. Like, we're about to change the whole dynamics of this entire company. And you guys are blessed to be part of that leadership. I'm blessed to have those leaders with me. I tell them all the time, guys, forget my title. I learn every single day from every single one of you guys. If it ain't for the wisdom, if it ain't for the grind, if it ain't for the heart, if it ain't just for, you know what I mean, what to do and what not to do, every single day I learn from these gentlemen and girls, like bosses. I am blessed to have these people next to me. Blessed, and so are you. So take full advantage, stay very close to the campfire. At the end of the day, guys, I see every single one of you guys Saturday, especially if you're local. I don't care if you're 2 hours away. I don't care if you're 3 hours away. How many times did we take road trips just to get to our destination because we knew it was going to be valuable? Besides having fun, we knew we was going to walk out of there with something that was going to take our business to the next level. I see all of you guys at the top or front of the top. It doesn't matter. We're getting it there. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Take care. And the last thing before I let go, every single person needs to be in Texas. Every single person needs to make that happen. Every single person must invest. And I can tell you this. To me, I would never relate on saying, Xavier, I'm tight on money. Because guys, when I say this, this is a true statement. I was homeless when I started this journey. I was selling everything and anything that had value. The reason why, because I knew I was dedicated. The reason why is because my vision was so clear that I knew one day we'll be sitting right where we're sitting today. I knew for a fact what I invested was an investment. It wasn't going to be an expense. It was going to have a return on investment. It was going to create the time freedom and the financial freedom we always dreamed about. That's why I can't relate. That's why I sat there and I sold everything that I love, that I was attached to. And I said, you know what? I'm going to let it go now because I'm going to get it tenfold and more. And more importantly, I'm going to help people change their lives. But I'm going to be honest with you. If you don't have that, stay home. Don't put yourself in a situation where now you go pawn something and you can't get out because you made it an expense and not an investment. Don't put yourself in a situation that now your spouse is going to be mad. It's going to be mad again because you just went on mini vacation when we're actually doing paycations. A big difference. Big difference. But I think our Executive Vice President, David Marquez, wanted to say something. Go ahead and unmute your line real quick, my brother.
Yeah, no. I just wanted to tell everybody there's a lot of events. We got the In the Black Friday event. You guys want to make sure you tune into that. I put the link on there. And, when it comes to these events, guys, that's really also what keeps you in the fire. That's what did it for me. And I just wanted to make sure everybody got on there. They're going to be giving a lot of stuff, 250,000. You guys heard it yesterday. So I put the link on there. As far as the event in Dallas, for those people, I remember I used to take, we would get like a rental, a big ass bus, and we made it, like X said, a vacation. We would stop halfway and go to New Orleans and spend a day in New Orleans, have a good time, post pictures, and then make it to the event. So there should be no excuse. We didn't book tickets because we just got everybody out there. So I just wanted to say that. Also, make sure everybody attends the event for the In the Black. And that's it. Let's get it.
Let's get it, team. Let's go. Let's make it happen. Like I said, man, at the end of the day, no excuses. Look, 2021. Yes, go ahead.
So we could keep track of the potluck because everybody's asking like, what is everyone bringing? I'm doing like a Google Excel sheet that's shareable. So I'll put the link in the chat, and what'll happen is you guys can add, and it should update, and everybody should be able to see it. I think you just have to have the Google Sheets app. I think everybody has Gmail. I hope so. But it's like a shareable. I put it in a shareable. So the link, you guys should be able to open it. It'll say name and then what you're bringing. That way we don't have like 50 Publix chickens, you know, like, so we know what everybody's bringing. Everybody brings something different. So if it doesn't work, let me know, but it should work.
Man, I appreciate that. Again, leaders just stepping up. We got the raffle tickets. As
Ron
you
got
can
the
see,
raffle
Rob,
tickets. I
Rob
can't
is
hear
like
you.
dying to give these tickets away, right? We're dying to see who's going to win these. And look, man, at the end of the day, this is something I'm going to throw out there. For anyone that's on this webinar right now, 121, Myra, I don't know how we can calculate or record the people that are on right now, right? As a matter of fact, if you're on right now, go to Relentless Band and put I needs that with a Z. I needs that, right? What I'm gonna do is anyone that's out of town, I'm willing to invest a total of $250 for you to be there this weekend. That means you're gonna fly out here. That means you're gonna stay, even if it's just one night. But I'm giving you up to $250. And you know how we're gonna do that? We're gonna go ahead and do the wheel of names, and all you have to do is the sooner the better, which today is what, Tuesday? So Tuesday, you have 2 days. You have tonight, which is more, but you have Wednesday and Thursday. Thursday at 10:45 p.m., I'm cutting it, right? But for you to qualify, you need to have a total of 3 enrollments. That could be agents or customer, or combination of both. As long as you get 3 enrollments, not only are you going to have some raffle tickets, but now I'm giving you $250 towards your expenses to come over here and experience what we do here in Tampa, Florida, and everyone that's local, just close to Tampa itself. Again, no other leadership team is doing what we're doing. I am blessed to have the leaders that we have in our organization. Thank you to every single one of y'all. Thank you to the brand new agent that believed in the team at one point, and this is why you got started. Thank you to every single field trainer, because without y'all, we will be nobodies. So now that you got to that field trainer title, duplicate it. Become a field trainer factory, because that's exactly what Razor did. And I'm telling you, in Massachusetts, her dining room wasn't even a dining room. It was a sweat factory. I told her, man, the FBI is going to kick in your door, right? She just had people working, but people were making money that they never once seen in their life. People were getting recognition that they never received in their life. People were changing their own life that they never once thought was possible. So if she could do it, so can you. We believe in every single one of you guys. And like how David said, hey, you guys might not do it, but our job here is done. We share the information. We're creating the environment. We have the culture. We have the standards. The principles and morals are in place. Now it's up to you if you want to go ahead and get that baton, because trust me, we're running, but we're running like this with the baton right behind us. Who's going to be the next person that's going to take it? All right. So thank every single one of you guys. Shout out to every single one of y'all. Relentless. You guys already know how we do. Let's get it, 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 get it. Peace. Have a good night. God bless every single one of y'all.